Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing another snooze review. That's right. I told you they weren't going away, guys. Come on, man. Today we are going to be reviewing Odens Extreme Pure Wintergreen. And this one actually looks a bit different than the last two that I reviewed because it doesn't have that sword and, you know, the spirit animals, all that kind of stuff on the can. This actually, let's see if I can get it to, there we go. This has a reflection off of my camera light. There we go. This has kind of a man-bird mix on it, which is a little bit reminiscent of Egyptian mythology, but I suppose it probably also works with Norse mythology. I really have not done a lot of research into that, so I do apologize if I am incorrect. But it's kind of a different design than their normal Odens Extreme line. I actually really like this design just because it is different from what you see in every other Odens Extreme can. But you can see, obviously, it's green, little man bird there, got Nordic runes all around him. We're going to start at the side label here, just like normal. We're going to spin around. It says Odens. And there it actually says Extreme Pure Wintergreen. I don't know if that's really coming up on the camera or not, if you can see it. I can't tell from the viewfinder. So, alright, come back around. Odens. Extreme Pure Wintergreen again. And back to the barcode. This has, yet again, the hinged catch lid. It's not a full-size catch lid. Let's crack her open. Of course, this is already cracked. But let's crack her open, see what the portions themselves look like, alright? And we're going to, of course, give her a whiff. You can see these portions. They're reasonably moist, but they're not like super moist at all, okay? You can feel just the tiniest amount of moisture on your fingers. They roll out really easy and fluff up. That is actually a very potent scent, okay? And the scent itself has just a slight twinge of, or not twinge, has just a slight spike of sweetness in it, okay? Just a very slight spike of sweetness, not very much. Other than that, it literally smells like straight up freaking wintergreen, okay? It's actually a really pleasant smell, but when you get your nose too close to it, it really smacks you in the nose, you know? You can keep this away and still get a very pleasant wintergreen aroma with just a slight little bit of sweetness to the aroma. We're going to go ahead and take this one that I fluffed up. We're going to hammer up with me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me know what you're throwing down in the comments. A few of you have done that in the last few videos that I've done, and that's actually really cool. I found out a lot of interesting information from the folks that have been commenting on my snooze vids lately. You know, finding out that Odens is like one of the most popular brands in, I believe it was Finland, and it's primarily Odens Cold, or Odens Cold Dry. But just finding out that Odens, of all of the different brands and all of that, is like super popular in, I believe it was Finland. That was actually very amazing to me because that it was something that I absolutely did not expect. Okay, really cool. That is a nice can. No matter how you look at it, that is a nice can, guys. I mean, I'm not usually too much of one for like the darker greens, the more laid back greens, unless it's on something like, you know, grass. Then I enjoy it, or trees. But it's a nice, sharp-looking can. I mean, honestly. And I'm not 100% sure what there is about it. I'm going to get to work here, and I'll come back in a short little bit here, and we'll go over the full review. Stay tuned! Alright, so I threw it in the lip, and almost immediately you get a slight flavor, not very potent, but a slight flavor of wintergreen. And this is not like American dip wintergreen. This is literally pure. It's not kidding, okay? It's not joking. It's not blowing sunshine and roses up your ass, guys. It's literally pure wintergreen. There is no sweetness to it. And that same flavor just rolls up and just accumulates and gets stronger and more bold the longer you have it in. I've had it in now about 25 minutes. The last ability on it, okay, the flavor is literally just pure wintergreen with just a very slight hint of that base Odens tobacco in the background. Not very much of it. The vast majority of the flavor that you get is literally pure, untainted, unsweetened wintergreen, okay? And at first, when I first put this in, no sweetness added, no tricks or anything like that. They literally have used pure wintergreen. I put it in my lip, I'm waiting for that old, reliable wintergreen flavor that I used to get from dip all the time, right? Wait a minute, this ain't sweet at all. They weren't kidding. This is just wintergreen with no sweetness. And as the flavor progresses and builds a little bit, you start getting a little bit more of that base Odens tobacco in the background. That surprisingly, that Odens tobacco flavor just kind of rounds out the flavor profile. There's just so much of a slight hint of salt to this. You can barely taste it. You really have to focus on the flavors in order to get even the slightest note of that salt. Those two just round out that wintergreen flavor very, very surprisingly well. Once you get over the fact that there is no sweetness to this, okay? Once you get over that fact, and you're like, okay, well, this isn't exactly what I was expecting, but you need to keep the mindset of, okay, let's just let this continue. Let's just see where this goes to. You know, let's judge this let's just judge this for what it is. This is, so far, the best wintergreen flavor that I have ever had in snus. Even though there's no sweetness to it, it is by far the best wintergreen flavor I've ever had in snus. Odens nailed this. Still a little bit disappointing that there's no sweetness to it, but that's okay. I realized this is really good. You know, the last ability on it, you're looking at 45 minutes easy, all right? I have actually forgotten and left it in and still had flavor, but not nicotine, up to an hour and 15 minutes, okay? Up to an hour and 15 minutes of flavor, but the nicotine dies off about the 45-minute mark, okay? So it kind of varies depending on what you're after. Do you want longer-lasting nicotine or longer-lasting flavor? But in terms of the nicotine lastability, 45 minutes, the flavor profile continues to last and really starts to ebb and die off completely at about the hour and 15-minute mark. So, coffee! Oh yeah. If I were to give this a rating, and bear in mind my ratings are generally 1 to 5, okay? I would say this is a good solid 4. There are a few things that might make it a little bit better, but again, that's moving towards my more American tastes, and that's a little bit more sweetness in the wintergreen, but judging it for what it is, I would say it's about a 4. Lastability, excellent. Nicotine on point at 21-to-1 ratio. So, I mean, the nicotine kick from this is really, really solid. It's nice. And because it's an original portion, it does hit a little bit harder than if it were a dry portion, okay? Nicotine on point. Lastability, particularly of the flavor, definitely on point. Small catch lid. It's small. that's not my favorite. But I am really getting used to this whole hinge thing. I actually am liking that a lot. Good solid 4. I definitely am going to be ordering more of this because out of all of the wintergreen flavors for snus that I've ever tried, so far this beats all of them out, okay? I really like the rounded flavor profile. That tiny touch of salt really helps to bond those two flavors together between the Odens base tobacco and the pure wintergreen flavor. It really helps to kind of bond those together and lets them mix very, very well. So definitely going to get more of this, probably a whole nother roll on my next order because I do enjoy this. Excellent stuff, guys. Super good. Random acts of kindness every single day, guys. Every day. Let me know down in the comments, have you been practicing this? Have you been putting random acts of kindness into every day of your life? Let me know. I'd love to hear about them. I want to know you guys are having a good time, enjoying your snooze, enjoying your lives. And I will see you in the next video. Peace. I'm out. Let me know now. I can't speak today.